Hello, this is Noah here with the Chevy Silverado. We're just going to do a walkabout and give you all the details of the truck. So the first thing we'll look at is the body. There's no rust by the fenders. Nothing on the outside. Nothing on the inside. This is just a little paint. Tires are in really good shape, lots of tread left. And these are the 12 ply tires, so these things are robust. Let's see. All along the bottom here we often have corrosion. There's nothing on this truck, which is really nice. There you go. There's a tiny spot of missing paint with rust right there. And no rust back here. Okay, we can finish our walkabout here. There's a tiny bit right here. That's definitely the worst rust on the truck, that little spot. Nothing here. Alright, so that's the body. The two bummers there are the bumper that someone clipped while I was gone. I have not tried to pry it back since I don't have any big tools here. All those are back at home in Alaska. You can see the brace there that would have to be bent back in shape with the bumper. And then the hood is the other thing that's taken some damage. It has kind of speckled, paint's a little speckled on top, and there is rust in the front of the hood. So we can look underneath. The 454 here, the big block, has been super solid. It was one owner before me. He took it to the shop for all of its maintenance. That was in California. Then I drove it to Denver here and had the carb tuned to this elevation. And at the same time, I just had the guy do a general inspection. And the one thing that we replaced was the cap and rotor, just so that he could make sure all the bushings were good there and do all the timing and stuff while he did that. Other than that, it's been great. I haven't burned any oil, haven't had any breakdowns. Yeah, we got the separate truck battery here. We got the two 6-volt batteries out of an old uninterrupted power supply from a telecommunications system for the camper. Alright, we can take a look inside and then fire up the truck. The interior was kept really clean. It's always had carpeting on the dash, so I'll lift that up when I get in there so you can see it. It has bucket seats. Under the covers, they're not so pretty, but they work fine with the covers on them. And these, of course, are custom because this model only came with bench seats, so this was done by the company that put the camper on the back. It was a package deal back in 1977. Actually, I think it was sold in 78. I think the camper's a 78. Yeah, so everything was custom done through Paradise Valley Campers. So the dash is immaculate. Where are my keys at? All the little accessories in here, most of the accessories work. You know, the turn signals, the lights, the parking brakes, windshield wipers, the radio. I have not tried the 8-track player. I don't have any 8 tracks. The tape player does not turn on. I haven't looked into it. It might be just a matter of getting power to it down below. I don't know. Alright, so let's fire this up. one thing you will notice is that the tachometer reads 2,000 right now, and if I rev it up a bit, it reads up to 4,500. But you can probably tell by listening to it that that's not accurate. The tach's reading way faster than it's actually running. But I just drive by ear anyways, so I haven't even looked into that. Let's see. Down here, I have a switch to connect the camper battery to the truck battery. So I just turn that on while I'm driving to charge it up. And I keep it disconnected otherwise to make sure I don't leave a light on in the back, somehow accidentally drain my truck too. Let's see. Everything's real nice and clean. It's got the center console, original manual. Let's go listen to the engine. We'll see how well that works with the external mic. I haven't tried that yet. The transmission here, we have low, first, second, third, and reverse. And all the transmissions in this era had a problem with second gear. There's a snap ring on the counter shaft, and that doesn't hold up. So what happens is if you're driving around town in second gear, it can randomly pop out into neutral. Then you just have to put it back in gear. It doesn't have any problem going into any of the gears. There's no grinding, no weird noises. It just will wind up in neutral. There is a fix for that because it happened to all of them. So they developed a sheath that you could buy for probably a couple bucks to put on there. But the problem is there's a lot of labor if you were going to do it yourself, or just a lot of labor costs. I don't think it would be worth having that done because I just put it back in gear if it pops out. All right. I think that is everything about the truck. Oh yeah, the miles. It's 99,000. It's a little hard to read there. And of course, this is one of those odometers that rolls over, so I had to trust the guy that was accurate. But I did look at some of his tire check records and stuff. And in the 90s there, it was around 55,000 miles. And then he said he hadn't driven it for like 18 years. The guy I bought it from was 80 years old. So, kind of checks out that it's actually at 99,000 and not at 199,000. All right, let's check out some things in the camper. Sleeping area. So, one thing we'll notice here is you can let this whole shelving unit down, and then it's a place for kids to sleep. Down here, of course, the stem comes out, table drops down, and this is another double bed, so it could sleep, I guess 6 technically. Let's see, we'll just do some lights and stuff. I did a brand new kitchen counter, just like a Home Depot thing with a bull nose and a nice new sink with the metal traps and everything. I have the pump switch here. You can hear it building up pressure. Alright, pressure's built up. Hot and cold water. Of course, you got to turn on the propane furnace that I'll show you later in order to get the water to be hot. I forgot a lighter, but you can hear that this turns on. So the burners work well. I haven't used the oven. Yeah, it's just been sitting with the pilot off the whole time. So I don't know about that. Range hood, lights, all the lights and stuff work in here. Back at the kitchen here, I actually have a spot here to hook up a fan, but I think, oops, here. So that's a bracket, I just drop it in there and plug it in. Thing's kind of ugly and in the way when I don't need it though, so I just leave it stowed. Here, let's see, we got a couple speakers, and I can show you. It's a Bluetooth setup that I put in. And let's see, I got a curtain on this one, and the rest have regular blinds. The water tank is down underneath here. What am I looking for? The Highwayman. Oh, there you go. So that's a Bluetooth system. And we can move on to the fridge. This is, as you can tell, it's a smaller unit. It's out of a VW camper. I built the door on there, and I've actually been having a little trouble with the propane unit right now. I get started and it turns itself out. So I'm working on that. No guarantees, but I'm going to try to have it fixed in the next couple days. Lots of storage and cupboard space in this thing. These are the solar panels that were on the roof. However, they were not installed in a very good way, so they resulted in a little bit of water damage. So I pulled the panels, I siliconed the holes, and then I tarred the whole roof. Haven't had any leaks since. I don't think it's worth putting those ones back up. They're only 30 watts. They're pretty old panels, but if you bought new ones and maybe did a better job of installing them than the last guy, you might make that work out. I have the charge controller and stuff down in here. It's kind of hard to see, but it's the electrical area. Bathroom. The bathroom has the worst water damage. And that was not because of the solar panels. That's because the guy had a broken vent, and I replaced it with a brand new vent. So that doesn't leak anymore. But as you can see, the roof is already kind of ugly. Oh well. New shower. This thing works well. I also have a switch for the pump in here if you're just using the bathroom and flush the toilet and want to shut the pump off again. There we go. Hot and cold. Try to put this down. There we go. So for the toilet, I have a little valve here. The reason for that is there's a slow trickle. So if I left it on, the pump would run every once in a while. So I turn that on, do my business, flush the toilet, and then before I leave, I just turn that off again. That way the pump doesn't run every couple minutes. Alright, as for the 120, it has outlets here and here, but there isn't any 120 infrastructure in here other than that. All the lights are on the 12-volt system. Alright, coming to the outside. Propane here, you could fit a 20-gallon cylinder in there. That'd actually be nice if you had the fridge going, because that'll use a little more propane then. Or if you were to get a Mr. Buddy heater or something, then you would definitely want a larger tank. This is the septic. This area is well sealed, like the dump works well. On the gray water, the gray water, the dump does not work very well because this rusted off, so it's always slightly open. So if you're going down the road, you'll slosh whatever the sink and shower water will slosh out. Not a big deal because it's not the nasty stuff. It's not your sewage. But to replace that, you just have to get a new dump valve there. All right. I'm gonna look at my little list, make sure I didn't forget anything. Yep, I think that's all. If you guys have any other questions, I can answer those. Oh, here's a intake for water and the hookup for when you're at a camping station, so you can run off of that water pressure instead of your pump. All right, if you have any other questions, just let me know.